Kris Kremers and Lisanne Froon, two adventurous Dutch women, spent months saving for their dream trip to Panama. They planned to learn Spanish, volunteer, and explore the country before returning home. Their journey began in Bouquet, a mountain town surrounded by lush jungles and coffee farms. For 2 weeks they settled in, hiking and sharing their excitement online. On April 1st, with their volunteer work delayed, they decided to hike the El Pianista Trail, a popular path with stunning views. They told their host family it would be a short hike, dressed lightly, and brought only a small blue backpack and the family dog. After brunch with friends, they set off in high spirits. That evening, the dog returned home alone. Kris and Lisanne did not. At first, their absence didn't cause alarm, maybe they'd stayed elsewhere. But as night fell, and hours passed, worry began to grow. The next morning, their host family realized something was wrong. The girls had vanished without a trace. What began as a dream trip was about to become a nightmare. The darkness in the jungle was waiting. When Kris and Lisanne missed a meeting with a local guide, panic set in. Police and locals launched a search along the El Pianista Trail and the surrounding jungle. Helicopters scanned the dense canopy, but the jungle was unforgiving, thick, wet, and dangerous. Days passed with no sign of the women. Their families flew in from the Netherlands, bringing detectives and media attention. The search intensified: dog teams, indigenous guides, and a $30,000 reward. For weeks searchers battled the wild terrain but found nothing, not a footprint or clue. As time dragged on, hope faded. The official search was scaled back. The families were left with heartbreak and endless questions. How could two people vanish from a popular trail? The jungle kept its secrets. The world moved on, but the family's torment never ended. 10 weeks later, a breakthrough. A local woman found a blue backpack by the Culebra River, far from the trail. It belonged to Lisanne. Inside, sunglasses, cash, passports, and most crucially, their phones and camera. Investigators hoped these devices would reveal what happened. The search shifted to the river, where Kris's denim shorts were found folded on a rock. Soon the discoveries turned grim, scattered human remains along the riverbank. A pelvic bone, a boot with a foot inside. DNA confirmed the worst. Kris and Lisanne were gone, but the mystery only deepened. Why were the shorts folded? How did their belongings end up so far from the trail? The jungle had finally given up some answers, but even more disturbing questions. The family's grief was now joined by confusion and dread. The dream trip had ended in tragedy. The case was no closer to being solved. The world watched, searching for meaning in the clues. The story was far from over. The phones and camera revealed a chilling timeline. Hours after their hike began, Kris and Lisanne tried calling emergency services. Over 70 attempts in the following days, none successful. The jungle's canopy blocked all signal. On April 6th, someone repeatedly entered the wrong pin on Kris's phone. After that, it was never used again. Lisanne's phone lasted until April 11th, used only to check for a signal. For 10 days, they were alive, lost, and desperately trying to reach help. The camera's photos told an even stranger story. Early photos showed them smiling at the viewpoint. Then, a week-long gap. On April 8th, in the dead of night, 90 photos were taken, mostly black, some showing the jungle, their belongings, and the back of Kris's head, possibly injured. Were they signaling for help, documenting their ordeal, or was someone else with them? The images offered no answers, only a glimpse into their terror. The evidence was haunting but incomplete. The jungle's silence was deafening. The truth remained out of reach. The remains brought heartbreak but no closure. Lisanne's bones showed natural decomposition. Kris's were stark white, as if bleached. Experts disagreed on the cause: sun, chemicals, or something else. Theories swirled: accident, foul play, abduction. Why were Kris's shorts folded? Who took the night photos? Why were the remains so scattered? With no suspects or clear evidence, the case remains unsolved. The story of Kris and Lisanne haunts all who hear it. It's a warning about the power of nature and the unknown. The jungle keeps its secrets. The families are left with grief and questions. The world is left with a mystery. The echo of their story lingers in the green hell.